Hey guys, what is up? Shadolance back for another review. Today I'm going to be doing the MAC-10 for the second time. I wanted to do this because of the new MAC-11s that got released, and the MAC-10 SE, which has been a relatively close time. It's been less than a few months, so might as well go ahead and toss this out there. I gotta say right off the bat, this is a nice gun. It's a lot of fun to play with, but it's not practical and it's not that great. I wouldn't use it for competitive gameplay, although it is a lot of fun to use just in general. So first, going straight into the stats, I want to say right off the bat, it's very, very similar to the Uzi. A lot of people consider it very, very close to it, so I will be comparing it to it and the MAC-10 SE. So statistically, it has a damage of 33, so very low. Portability of 85, very high, especially for a very low ranked GP weapon. Rate of fire of 90, so very, very high. That's like averaging what we have nowadays. It's like the new Shumba Maroon Fumbi, whatever. Accuracy is 60, so it's relatively accurate for an SMG. It could be better, but it could also be a lot worse. The recoil is 75, which is a little bit on the high side. The Uzi has a 65, so it's quite a bit above that, but it's still manageable. The actual spread goes up very, very slowly. The recovery is just a little below average. It's not the fastest in the world. It's only a fully automatic gun, just like the Uzi, and just in general, it's a pretty nice gun. You can put a magazine, sight, and suppressor on it if I really had to make a suggestion. Since it already has such low damage, I would suggest putting on an S1 suppressor to minimize the recoil. It won't really affect a whole lot in scope, since in scope there is literally no up and down. It just goes left and right entirely. Similar to the P90, the P90 doesn't have so much up to it, except maybe if you're tapping. As far as a scope, an iTech is definitely recommended. I would always recommend an iTech on this. An ACOG is completely useless because tapping accurately doesn't exist with this gun. As far as magazines, that's really up to you guys. I would probably put an extended magazine 1 on if I was really trying to go for higher accolades, but because this is such a low damage gun, that can be very difficult to do, even with the higher fire rate. So all in all, it's not really a bad gun. It's just a lot of fun to use. It looks cool in my opinion. I think it looks really cool, but that's just my personal opinion. It's a very, very strong 4-shot kill for appropriate ranges for the most part. Very fast fire rate, low deviation, so it just covers the ground pretty well. You're going to be able to get your shots to hit whenever you want to, however you want to, and it's just typically a very convenient gun. The MAC-10 SE has a 3-point increase in damage to 36, a 3-point increase in portability to 88, rate of fire stays at 90, accuracy is at 60, that's the same, and the recoil goes down by 1 point to 74, so you're seeing a massive increase. However, the gun is also LTC 1, so it's quite the high-ranked little sucker. You can still put suppressors, magazines, and sights on it. It doesn't have a suppressor or anything. It's just the same as before. Very high-ranked gun. Very, very nice. It's actually, on the other hand, quite good. The damage increase definitely helps a lot. The damage drop-off is quite a bit better. The damage drop-off on the regular MAC-10 is not great to begin with, and it's actually not great on the MAC-10 SE, but it does get a very nice improvement. Both variants have a 30 of 90 ammo capacity, as does the Uzi. Both guns have a very fast draw speed, though, which is very nice, and the reload is also quite quick. It's one of the faster ones in the entire game, which is very, very nice. So, just in general, the MAC-10 SE is a nice upgrade. Now comparing it to the Uzi, which is the other very low-ranked GP gun that a lot of people tend to use early in the game, has a base damage of 30, portability of 85, rate of fire of 90, accuracy of 63, and recoil of 65. So you're seeing 10 points lower on the recoil, which is a massive difference. It's actually very much noticeable. The Uzi has quite a bit more recoil. The spread jumps up quite a bit faster. So that's also true. The accuracy of 63 is, however, higher than the MAC-10. So the accuracy is 3 points higher on that. The rate of fire of 90 is the same. The portability of 85 is the same. The damage of 30 is actually even lower than the MAC-10, making this gun up to a 5-shot kill at medium appropriate ranges. And at longer ranges, don't even bother using the gun because it's going to be like a 8 to 10 shot kill. Tankers don't even get me started, so I mean, using the Uzi long range, and the MAC-10 for that matter, is really not the smartest idea. Not to mention, you cannot put a scope on the Uzi, only a suppressor and a magazine, and honestly with the Uzi, I would go ahead and put the suppressor on it because you're already doing such low damage. The suppressor is going to help you more than it's going to hurt you. The S1 is what I would suggest. The S3 if you don't care for that so much. As far as a magazine is almost mandatory on the Uzi because you will run out of ammo so fast it's not even funny. So an extended magazine 1 to keep the ammo counts even is the best way to go in my opinion. As far as usage for both of these weapons, I would typically say it's a much better idea to work on flanking. Don't try to rush people head-on because with the SMGs that have been released recently, even shotguns will quickly overpower this, whether it's the maxes or not. So you need to be very, very smart when using these weapons, but they are a lot of fun, and if you can excel with either of these weapons, it definitely means you're more set for the game than other people. They're just a lot of fun to use. I still wouldn't use them for competitive gameplay, fun or not. They're just not very efficient as compared to modern-day guns that we're seeing in combat arms. Now, granted, for the day when they were released, they were very, very nice guns. even higher ranks would go back and use these occasionally. But if I was going to pick out an SMG these days, I would take a P90 or a UMP, customize the UMP, the P90, or maybe a PP19, which are also older guns. They're just slightly higher ranked than these, but they're still quite low ranked, so they should be available to most of you by this point in time. So I would still highly suggest you guys use those. I just want to mention one last thing on the MAC-10. The overall spread is quite high in general. It's literally AK-47 size, maybe a touch smaller, but it's quite large, and the recovery is only mediocre, so you need to be wary when using that. All in all, I'm not going to score the gun super, super high, but I'll be fair with it. It's a fun gun to use, so I'm going to at least give it credit for that, even if it's not a super competitive use weapon. But then again, this is a game. Games are supposed to be fun, so keep that in mind. That's one thing that's really fallen away from combat arms in the past, while, because, it's such a competitive game. So it's not... Counter-Strike is pretty competitive too, but that's just the general gist. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this review. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Shadolance out.